Okay, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be the first video of many. I'm going to try and do a series of videos on SolidWorks, right from the basics up to the advanced stuff, and really get into it. This is going to be for you that have just got SolidWorks and you want to know how to use it. I'll try and pop out as many videos as I can in a short period, because if you've just got SolidWorks and you're watching this video, you're probably going to want to know what to do next. So yeah, so this is for the beginners. So you've just bought SolidWorks and you're ready to make money because it costs a lot of money. I've got the 2017 edition, the standard edition, and it cost nearly £7,000. So it's not cheap software, but if you want to design, this is the best software to use in my opinion, and I have used a lot of others. Yeah, if you're a student or if you're in college and you're wondering what you want to do for a job, then I'd advise going down this line. It is very interesting work. I've worked for quite a few companies now, and I've done some interesting stuff. A lot of it I can't say, especially not public. But yeah, I worked in one company. It was very interesting, where I was the designer, mechanical engineer. And what we designed was actually manufactured there, so it was in the CNC shop, or molds. We made molds and all sorts of stuff. So they manufactured the parts, then the parts actually got assembled at the same place and put together, and then they were tested as well. So I got to see the end product, which is not very often when you're in this line of work. Sometimes you might be just in some design company that just design parts for anybody, and you'll send them files off and that's all you'll see of them. You'll never see the end product or the end part. And this is manufacturing software. This is what a lot of high end users use. So car designers will all use this sort of software, and in my opinion, yeah, it's the best one to go for if you're looking at getting into it. I think they do trial ones as well. I think you can download it, a trial version, so you can have a look, see if you like it or not before you buy. But yeah, let's get into it. So open up SolidWorks. I apologise for my mic as well. My studio mic's decided to pack up on the first video I want to do. That's not great. Okay, so this is what you're hit with the first time you open SolidWorks. In fact, no, I tell a lie. The first time you open SolidWorks, it's going to ask you what document preferences you want to set. So whether you're metric or imperial, for instance, if you want millimeters, or you want inches. So that's what it's going to ask you. So select what you would like to select, and it is changeable if you want to go into something else anyway. So yeah, this is the basic layout. It won't be like that, it'll be like that. So this little arrow here, when you hover over it, it's going to bring out the sort of main options here. If you click this drawing pin, it'll fix that there. I always have it there because I do use it quite a lot. So, and you never use all of this, so you might as well pin it open. So yeah, so you've got all your options here. You've got these, you've got some grayed out, main workspace, and then you've got your libraries pane down here. So first thing you're going to want to do is you want to start a new part, and to do that you go over here, either to here, click File, New. This will give you a list of recently used or recently designed parts, or you can click this here or this. So yeah, just click New. You won't see this, you'll probably see it in this view when you're first opening it. If you do want to see it in the view you've just seen, then you click Advanced, and this will show you all of your document templates. As you can see there, they're my templates. You'll get some preset standard ones, and I will do a video on how to create your own. But yeah, so this is what you'll be faced with. So you want to click a new part, so we'll click Part and then click OK, and that's going to bring up your default view for your first part. So I'll just go over what we've got here. So further on down the line, if you wonder what I mean by function tree, you're going to know what it is. So basically what we've got here is your ribbon, which is this here. It's got all your features, blah blah, bits and bobs. And these are all the tabs for that ribbon. So if I go onto features, it's going to change that ribbon to the features. Click sketch, it's going to change it to sketch. You won't see this cam unless you've got cam software, which is needed for if you want to do 3D toolpaths or anything like that for CNC machines. But yeah, so that's the ribbon. If you do, there will be things there, or there will be things you do have that aren't in this these tabs. And the way to get that up is if you right click on any of these, it'll give you this drop down bar. The ones that are ticked are the ones that you can see at the moment. The ones that aren't, you obviously can't see. So mold tools you won't see at the minute. It's a brand new version. But simply click, right click, then click on the one you want to see. So if I ever go into something in another guide and you can't see it there, then that's how you do that. But if you try and set it up how I'm doing it now and leave it, it does save it, so when you come back it's there again. It's not going to disappear and you have to do it again, but it'll make it easier for you to follow along on later guides. So yeah, that's your ribbon there. You got, this is your view settings, we'll go over that in detail in a bit. And you've got your function tree, which is this. This is basically like a history of your part, if you like. It'll list the features that you've done to create the part as you can see it, and helps to go back to make changes to any part of that. And over here you've got your library. This is your workspace, and then you've got your customized bar will be down here if you have that set, but I don't have it set because I don't need it. If you ever want to change them settings, like I said, so you've set it to millimeters but you want to do something in inches, you can go down here and you'll see there's a little custom tab, and then you can change what you're working to. I'm in the UK, so I'm millimeters, grams and seconds. Okay, so yeah, workspace is where your 3D model will be displayed. The function tree here contains all your building features in order, sort of from the earliest on the top and the latest below. For assemblies, function tree will contain all the parts that form that assembly if you've got an assembly open, for instance. The topmost of the function tree will always be occupied by default features such as what you can see now, which is the front, top, and right. They will always stay at the top. Your ribbon, like I've gone over with, it's user customizable. Again, you can right click and you can select any other bits and bobs you want to see on there. View settings, that contains some options regarding the view of the model, some options that could be chosen such as section view, view orientation, view display, background scene, zoom. There's lots of different features in there. The library, which is this section here, contains some predefined functions or standard components, such as if you design a bolt that you know you're going to use in designs down the line, you can save that as a default sort of component, and you can create a library and put that bolt there, so you can just drag and drop it in. Simple as that. Customized toolbar, which is down here, which I don't have on, but if you do feel like the ribbon isn't enough to contain all the shortcuts you want to use, you can customize your own toolbar. In the bottom there you can put filters, all sorts of bits and bobs down there. Yeah, so we'll start with the orientations view. In all CAD software there are three most fundamental view orientations that can be done. You've got your pan, your rotate and zoom. In every CAD software they'll have their main sort of three. How you navigate the views can vary. This is how you do it in SolidWorks. So you got your pan, you need to hold down control the mouse scroll button while moving your mouse in the direction that you want, and you can pan about. You can't see at the minute because I don't have a part open. There's other ways of doing that as well. Rotate, you can rotate the view. It's simply by holding the mouse scroll button, so your mouse middle mouse button, if you hold that down, you can rotate around your part. You can do it with the arrow keys as well, or if you're like me and you've got a 3D connections joystick, that can help as well. You zoom, you can scroll up and down on your mouse to zoom in and out. You can reverse that if you're not happy with the way it is. Or you can use the buttons in the view setting region. So we'll go over them now. Actually, I'll show you some of them, but there's nothing there to see at the minute, so I'll open a part I've recently used. So I'll open this part, which is to my EZ antenna tracker. So that's the view it's saved in, or the last view I used it in, if you like. So yeah, these are your settings up here. So your first one here is your zoom to fit. So if this is out here, or I don't know, it's off the screen off here or something, you click this zoom to fit and it'll bang it straight in the middle of your workspace and to its fullest possible. Another one here is your zoom area, so selection zoom area. If you want to zoom in on this little radius here, there's some detail there that you want to look at, you can do that and that will pop you in there like that. This one here will reset it sort of back to the last view you were looking at, so if you want to go back, click that, it'll take you right back. Section view, this is handy for large assemblies. If you've got lots of parts, you want to see if they're all interlocking okay, they're all okay, there's no crashing, no parts sort of connecting with other parts, which is going to create problems. So you can click on that. This gives you the section view, so you can slice your model or your assembly in half basically, or wherever you decide to set it from. You can drag this arrow up and down, which will change the location of that section view. Over here you've got lots of different settings, so you can change the panes here, for instance. It'll change where it's going to put that through. Or you can do it by selection, so you can click this box here and say we want it at an angle. Sorry, wrong one. Do that. Yeah, but so if we want section view through there, select the angle and then click section view and it'll get on that angle. That's section views. This one is your view orientation, so this is how you want to look at it. There's lots of different options. You won't see it like that to start with. When you click that, it'll just give you the basic drop down box. But if you enable this, it is handy. It's very quick, a lot quicker than using this. So if you click that, you basically get like a 3D box around it. But yeah, like that. And then what you can do is, if you want to look at it from this angle, if you imagine it like placing a camera up there and you want to look down on it from there, so you'd click that, it'll flip it round to that. If you press the space bar, it's like a shortcut to that. So you can see it's moving it about there. And then you've got default settings, so you've got front view, top view, bottom view, left view, right view. You've also got this, so if you want to look at it in isometric or diametric, click that and it'll give you that view. That's a handy one. If you want to design something, or you want to do an extrude on this face, for instance, and you can be a bit of a nightmare to get it in the orientation that you want it in when you're doing the sketch. What you can do is you can click the face you want the view on, and then click this little power here, and what it'll do is it'll bring you on that face, so you're actually looking directly at it. Next one in this list, this you can split it so you can have separate views. So if we go on there, look, you can see separate views, we can actually change what view we want on each individual one. So this one, say we want to look from the top. This one we want to look at from the left. Then you've got it all in different views. Whichever one your cursor is in, you can move about, zoom in and out. Many different options. And to switch back, you just click the single use. I think that's everything in there. Oh, apart from this one, new view. You can create a sort of customized view, so you move your model where you want it to be. So say for instance you want to be able to just pop into this view quite often, or that's a view that you want to show somebody. If you've got a customer sat behind you and you're explaining to them this is this angle for this, then you can create yourself a new view by setting that angle, going into views, click that one, type what you want to call it, click OK, and then it'll appear in your default views. Yeah. This one is it's like well, it's just basically model settings. So at the minute I've got shaded with edges, which is what you can see it as now. If we go to the next one down, this is just shaded, so you don't see any of the black lines there. You can see the next one's just a wireframe. When you move that about, you can see the lines as if it's sort of transparent as well, which is handy. The next one is hidden lines are shown with dotted lines. Very handy in assemblies or large assemblies if you want to select a line that you can't see, or select a face that you can't see. And then the next one's full wireframe. I generally keep mine on shaded. Okay, this one is shows like annotations, bits and bobs. So if you want to see the origin of the part, click this button here and you can see that the origin's viewable now. Or this is there. There's not really a lot that I use in there, to be honest. About the only one I ever used. But yeah, you can turn them all off by clicking the eye and it'll turn everything off, or if you want them all back on, click it again. These are just the appearance, editing the appearances. So if you want that, the default color is normally like a grey color. If you want to change that, you can click this edit appearance and it gives you all the appearance settings. Over here are sort of your custom settings, and these are preset settings. So say for instance this part I know is going to be ABS plastic, so I can go into the appearance library, I can go to plastic, and I know it's sort of going to be a low or a textured finish, say, and we can say it's this one, drag it over, let go, and then that drags that appearance onto there. Change the color, it's going to be orange, or it's going to be blue, or whatever color it's going to be. And then you click the tick, and that's that. This is your background scenes. By default I have mine set to 3-point faded, which is what you'll be on anyway. You can change it to plain white, or you can go for something like urban 5 background, which is basically scene. You can download a lot of different ones as well from the main SolidWorks website. I just generally keep mine on that. The next one is view settings. So we've got shaded, so we'll put shadows in there. Ambient occlusion, which will make the part look as if you are actually looking at it in real time. Perspective, which is the one that makes it look as though you're looking at it in real time. Like that. As you can see, it looks elongated. And then cartoon, which is a pretty cool one. But yeah, generally I keep mine, all of them off. If you've got a large assembly, then your computer might start to struggle with all the 3D parts with the shadows and perspective views and so on and so on. So that's the basics of that. Next in line is this here, which is your library, which I mentioned before. If you click on there, it's going to slide that out, and you've got lots of different things in here. Tutorials, that's a good one to click on if you want to learn some bits and bobs. I'd recommend going through all them tutorials and probably going back over them again. They are quite good. It gives you step-by-step instructions as well as links to the buttons. So if it's telling you to do something, I'll show you. For instance, let's say left parts. So yeah, if you can't find, let's find one. This, for instance, you're looking on here and you're like, where's that? I can't find that. You click the button, it'll highlight it like that and show you it, so you can see where it is. And you go there and click that. But yeah, they're handy. Lots of the bits and bobs in there. This is your main libraries, so your design libraries. You won't have this, but I'll show you. For instance, how I was saying earlier, if you design a part and you know that that part's going to be used again and again and again. For instance, I do a lot of quadcopter design, so sort of motors are a standard default thing, cameras, screws, propellers, VTXs, VRXs, connectors, PDBs, flight controllers, all them sort of things that are like generic things. Then you can create yourself a library. I'll show you, for instance, in here are my flight controllers. So if we want to pop a flight controller in there, oops, get rid of that. Yeah, so flight controllers. So we've got a Lumineer. That's just a box standard one. I didn't want to go over the top with that. Got a good one for you to look at. Should be some rendering on that. I'm not sure why that's missing. Find a good one. Find a good one. Odd. But yeah, anyway, that's the basics of that. So I've got all my different bits and bobs in here that I save, ESCs that I've blocked out or gone to detail with, lipos, gimbals, put in here cams, so like the GoPros, Sessions, Hero, HS1177, also, so yeah, you can just drag them into assemblies and you know it's going to fit. File Explorer, View Palette, Appearances, Custom Properties, so on. I don't want to go into all that now because this is just the first of many videos. So let's get back to where we were. So yeah, Feature Manager on this side here. So as I said earlier, these are your default. These will always be up on the top. If you're designing a part, this is sort of the history of the part. So I just drag that down one. So this is the first stage I did of creating this part, and you can see that's the first feature. If I expand this, that is the sketch for that feature. So I can see that that's an extruded boss, and that's the sketch for that extruded boss. If I bring that down, you can see the next stage, which was putting the lugs on, and so on and so on as it go down. So that's basically the history of your part. So that's like the oldest thing you did, and this is the newest thing you did. Or that, for instance. It just makes it easy so you can go back and change things quickly. Properties, configurations, you can create different configurations for that part. So this is the fold in, see how it changed it. This is the standard. So on. Dim dimensions, this is the appearance, and you won't have that because I can turn that off. Yeah, you can minimize that as well by clicking this, and it'll slide that in or slide it back out. So yeah, that's the basics for this area here. Then you've got your main settings. If your computer is struggling with all the 3D rendering and moving it about, it's real jolty and stuff like that, if you open up these settings by going to this cog and then clicking options, and then down here under performance you can set this a bit lower so that it works better for your computer. So I'd turn off smart mate sensitivity, I'd turn off the animation speed, I'd go to the image quality, and I'd lower these down a bit as well. Don't know why mine is set so low, but you can see by sliding this down, if you look at that image of the circle, you can see the lines are getting deteriorating the lower down I go, till they're like hexagon. I keep mine around. Yeah, basic functions up here: open, print, save, settings, document. These are file properties. So like these are I've set as a default on this, so that when I create a drawing of this part, if it's for CNC machining, I can drag all this information straight into the drawing. Yeah, all your main parts there. That's pretty much it for the first video. I hope you found it interesting, and if you learned something. You probably passed this stage already, but it does help to know what you're working with and where things are going to be before you start getting into it, really. Yeah, so I hope that's helped. If you've got any questions, drop them down in the comments, or you can email me. Please subscribe and click the bell if you want notifications of when the next video is going to be online, so that you can go and watch that. I'll try and get these videos out as quick as possible. I'm planning on doing another one tomorrow, probably another one Monday, maybe a couple on Tuesday if I've got enough time, just to try and keep things moving. Yeah, so subscribe, like, visit the website blackboxrc.com. Yeah, that's everything. Thanks for watching.